Om anitya drisheshu vivichya nityam tasmin samadhatta iha smalilaya Vivek Vairagya Vishuddha Chittam Yosau Viveki Tamaham Namami. Respected faculty members, dignitaries, guests, and dear students, I am delighted to see the huge crowd, very good number. So I can see that you are genuinely interested in this topic, Vivek and Vivekananda. That's something wonderful. When I asked Parag before, when he was deciding on this topic, I asked him what exactly the students wanted, because the title of the talk is Vivek and Vivekananda. And he told me that developing the sense of discrimination and discretion, which is so important, so vital to decision making. So this is something our students need to hear. What are the factors involved? And how do you make the right decision? How do you keep your will, focus your will on what you actually select and choose in life? And what are the factors which help you make the right decision? Because you see, your life is nothing but a result of your choices, isn't it? And your choices are nothing but the result of your will. So it is so very important for us to see what are the factors involved and how do I make the right decision? How do I discriminate between right and wrong, between the preferable and the pleasurable? There are many things which we can discuss because you see Vivekananda literature is full of all these illuminating ideas, and you can draw a lot from yoga and Vedanta psychology also on this topic. So I hope we will have a good discussion in the next 1.5 hours. The very word Vivek comes from the dhatu, the Sanskrit dhatu, there is which. V is the upasarga and which is the dhatu, which means to select. To select. To separate and select what is right and good for you. Everything comes to us in a mixed form, you see. To select out what is right, what is good for us, and then to take a decision. This is what Vivekananda means. And actually, the chant which I chanted just before beginning this talk, it is describing to you what Vivekananda actually did. Anitya drisheshu vivichya nitya means this. Between the eternal and the non-eternal, he selected the eternal. He chose what was eternal. And that is why he is Vivekananda. So we will go into this topic which will teach us how to make our choices in life, how to build up our will, have a strong willpower, and how to make the right decisions. You must remember, Vivekananda was adamant on this point that you must learn to take the whole responsibility of yourselves on your own shoulders. See, you are all young people. You know, our national trait in a way is to shift responsibility to others. It has been so for many centuries, and that is why the history of India has been what it has been. If you have studied well the history of India, for about 1,000 years, we suffered invasions and slavery because we shifted our responsibilities either to somebody around us, our duties to somebody around us, or to God if there was nobody else. And do you think God will be happy at this? You see, even a mother, when her child is helplessly just dependent on her, she is not very happy. When he starts asserting himself, when he starts showing his will, he walks by himself, talks by himself, then it delights the mother, isn't it? So also God will be happy with us only when you start asserting your will, when you truly develop your willpower and use it for higher purposes in life. Willpower, the development of will, taking right decisions, it entirely depends on your goal orientation, your commitment to higher goals in life. So understand this and take the whole responsibility on yourself. Today, the responsibility of your life, your career, your profession. Tomorrow, the responsibility of your families. And after that, the responsibility of taking major decisions for your nation. Because you people will be initiating the global dialogue between India and the world on several issues. So make sure that you develop this powerful will, which is oriented towards a higher ideal in life. And you will see that decision making is a cinch. You're perfectly capable of it. I can give you an example here, which is I would like to draw it right from engineering, your mechanical engineering, because it will help you understand how the will works. You see, Vivekananda used to say, the very purpose of education is to be able to will rightly. He used to say, the giving a direction to the current and expression of will and making it fruitful, that is what education is about. In order to understand what this will is and how we use it in decision making, let me take the example of a boat. You might have gone on cruising ships, you see, on rivers and seas. So you see the basic mechanism which a boat uses, whether it's a commercial ship or a recreational boat, it has a central shaft which is very strong and sturdy. It delivers the power of the engine to the other parts of the ship, isn't it? It delivers it mainly to the propellers which propel the ship forward. Now this central shaft has to be of very strong material because it is not only transmitting the power, it is transmitting the torque and the rotation. So it decides the direction of the ship, it decides the strength of the ship, the load it can carry, and it is actually basically responsible for keeping the ship afloat, isn't it, on water. So that important is this central shaft. Your own personality has a central shaft. It is your will. Will is not just another thought. Thoughts rise and thoughts fall. Thoughts can be replaced. What is the difference between will and thought? Will is, it is actually a committed resolve in which you have invested considerable amount of energy and which is directed towards a particular goal. The ship has to go in a particular direction to a particular destination, and that is why you need that central strong shaft. Our will also is like that. If that will is strong, it can face the high seas of life. The boat is nothing but your life, and the seas it's going to travel with all those stormy waves, that is nothing but the world outside. If you want to reach your goals in life, focus on that central shaft, which is going to draw the power of your inner consciousness to the different parts of your personality. If the will is committed, goal-oriented, you can be sure you will traverse the high seas without any problem. And if the will is defunct, if there is some problem with the central shaft, you know there are only two problems. Usually when a ship capsizes in the sea, it is due to shaft failure, and the main problems are corrosion of the shaft or what is called metal fatigue, which means either the will can get corroded or it is not made of the right stuff. It is not made of the right. You never worked on building your will. You know what builds your will? Your habits, your everyday practice, and most of all your sanskars. Because the will is the resultant of your sanskars. The impressions you have taken in. You have repeated what you have made your character. That decides the strength of your will, the strength of the basic shaft within you, which is going to help you in every decision in life. So make sure of this, that this central shaft, you actually work upon it, because it is this that will help you take your major decisions in life. Today your decisions are, well, just establishing a good career, isn't it? Or maybe you have simple problems. Even the simple, making a simple decision of what time you will get up tomorrow morning. That also is a decision, isn't it? And you employ your will for that. But tomorrow you will have to take very major decisions. And unless you have built up a strong will, a thought or an emotion or an impulse can capsize you. Unless this will is there, directed towards a particular goal in life, a higher goal in life, and then you will see these thoughts and emotions and impulses which arise momentarily, they actually are like the propellers. They will help take the ship forward, but they augment the drive of the shaft, but the shaft is indispensable to your progress, to keeping the ship afloat, to keeping it directed towards its goal, towards its destination. So otherwise what will happen is a single impulse arising in your mind, and well, you fall for it, and yes, your ship will capsize on the high seas. There are very many such things in life which can capsize your boat. So make sure your willpower is worked upon at this age. This is the time when you should do it. And I can give you wonderful examples from Vivekananda's life. You see, why I told you goal orientation is so important to the creation of a strong will is because your goal decides two things. You see, goal orientation actually gives direction to your life, isn't it? It's quite obvious. For those of you who came here from outside, many of you are students, but there are a number of guests who have come from different parts of Delhi. Now you see, how did you come to this particular place? There were a number of crossroads on the road. You chose the road which led to IIT Delhi, isn't it? You did not choose any other. In the crossroad, you chose the road which led you to IIT Delhi. Suppose you didn't have a destination. You could choose any road and you could be anywhere in Delhi. So also in your life, if you have no solid destination, if you have no goal to attain, you will never know where your ship will go, where you will end up. So 2 types of goals are required. This is very strongly connected to willpower development. The first thing that you need to know is an immediate goal, which is achievable, which you want immediately. Like here, it's your career, the profession you're going to build up. But after that, as a result of your job satisfaction, where do you want to go? What kind of a life do you want to lead? What is human life about? What is the goal of human life? These ideas should come clear in your mind. These should be your original questions so that you decide your long-term goals also now. And all this, your career options, your placement tomorrow, the company you choose, the family you make, all this will lead you towards this, your ultimate goal, your long-term goal in life. So you see, all of us need a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Then you will be able to develop willpower so that it remains focused on your goals in life. If you have not decided upon this, your goals are not clear, please make them clear quickly. Think about it. That is why there is Vivekananda literature to help guide you towards what should human life be about. What is the purpose of this life? Where lies genuine happiness? Where lies fulfillment? How you can convert your everyday work into a means to fulfilling yourself. So all these wonderful ideas you will find in this literature. If you actually read Vivekananda's life, you see, I don't recommend you read this and that. But this much I will tell you, if you read the lives of great people, great achievers, you will get a live inspiration from them. And so don't fail to do that. Read the lives of great people and you will see they actually transmit something to you. In Vivekananda's life, whenever I ask youngsters like you, what do you know about Vivekananda? They usually tell me, well, he was a great success at the Parliament of Religions and he created this Ramakrishna movement, this huge movement. So yes, he did all that, but do you know what went into the making of a Vivekananda? What went into the making of the creation of a Vivekananda? It's something very interesting for us to know. When Vivekananda was a young man, he was Narendranath Datta. He came from a very well-to-do family. His father was an attorney at the Kolkata High Court. But you know, when he was of 20 years of age, he was a brilliant young man and with all well-developed faculties, a very powerful intellect, capable of everything, a promising young man with a bright future ahead. And most of all, he was a yogi. Deep spiritual inclination was there. And yet he faced some really, terrible situations in life. Immediately when he came to the age of 20, in 1884, his father passed away. And they saw quickly that his father had not saved for the future of the family. They were in debt. And Narendranath Datta had to go out in search of a job immediately. He knocked from door to door. And this promising young man with such a brilliant brain, he could not find a job. He would come home and see that gradually his family was being reduced to penury. His family faced starvation. He would see the food was limited. And so he would tell his mother, my friends have invited me. And he would just go hungry for the day. Look at the condition. You see, he has faced a lot of trials. That is how his will developed. Don't think his life was smooth sailing. In fact, Swamiji's life, there's a lot of struggle. That helped him develop his will. He has battled against severe odds. He has grappled with very difficult situations. You know, when he turned to his friends, in this situation, when the family was suffering poverty, his friends turned his backs on him. They did not help him. And there were certain wild forces also working in society because they knew he was in such a difficult situation. Some women tried to deflect him from the moral ideal. But Vivekananda's central shaft was so strong, so powerful, that nothing affected him. his boat remained focused on its destination. And this is what went into the making of Vivekananda, the metamorphosis of Narendranath Datta into Vivekananda. Remember, this will, if there's an indomitable, all-powerful, committed will, a committed central shaft made of strong, sturdy material, it will keep your boat afloat no matter what kind of seas you face, no matter what storms you face in life. And if this central shaft is not strong, you will succumb to everybody's little comment, everybody's little emotion, somebody's impulses, or your own inner struggles, the struggles that life throws at you. So it is vital for you to understand how to build up this central shaft, this strong, sturdy will, which is the actual guiding force of your life, so that you know you can depend on yourself, no matter what your situation. You know you are reliable. You know, this is at the heart of self-confidence. You might be having a number of workshops on self-confidence, but self-confidence actually comes into your life when you find yourself reliable, no matter what your outer circumstances and situations. So this is only possible when your will has a unidirectional focus, a great goal to achieve, and all your faculties of thought, emotion, whatever impulses, attitudes are subservient to that will. The will is moving in one direction. The will is committed to a certain goal, a higher goal in life. Then this ensures your success in life. Remember this. The triumph of will is the triumph of the personality. The failure of the will is the failure of the personality. So with this introduction from Vivekananda's own life, let me go into the PowerPoint which I have prepared for this occasion. It will give you very many psychological ideas on will, also from yoga and Vedanta. You might have heard these are the perennial philosophies of India, which give you very illuminating, wonderful ideas on how to develop human personality, what the human personality is about, where does will arise from, what is mind, what is your consciousness, what makes the real you. Have you ever wondered about this question? You see, this is primary to understanding the will. Have you ever thought, who am I? Have you thought, any of you? और नहीं, जो लोग मुझे बोलते हैं हाँ तुम ऐसे हो और वैसे हो, वही मैं हूँ, ये आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग है क्या? या कभी सोचा है, आपकी सोच इतनी दूर तक गई है कि असल में मैं कौन हूँ? What is the unchanging part of me? What doesn't change with circumstances, with the comments of others, with the biases and the values of others? What is that part of me which never changes and which will go on even when the body falls? Have you ever thought about it? This is the beginning of developing a real strong goal-oriented will. Now, this is where yoga and Vedanta will give you very luminous ideas. You see, let me just start this. Now, look at this diagram which I put there. It is actually a diagram of the human personality paradigm given to you by Vedanta. It's a model which will tell you what human personality is about. What are you about? Usually, what do you think of yourself when you ask yourself the question, who am I? आपके मन में क्या निकलता है? Your image, isn't it? Your picture of your body. So, is that all of you? Can that much only be you? Now, what Vedanta will tell you is, your body is just the outermost crust of your personality. You see, the physical body is the outermost rind, you can say. After that is a sheath or kosha it is called in Sanskrit, which is your vital energies, the energies coursing in your body. Then there is the mind, it's called manomaya kosh. Then there is the higher intellect, the buddhi. And at the heart of your personality structure is pure consciousness, a unit of pure consciousness, जिसको हम आत्मा कहते हैं, आत्मन in Sanskrit. So this is the human personality paradigm which Vedanta gives you. Actually, you are a unit of pure consciousness functioning through all these different koshas, functioning through the mind, functioning through the body. If you ask yourself basically the question, who am I? This will come out somewhat hazily into your mind naturally, even if you don't have this model. You see, you are conscious, isn't it? So consciousness must be at the heart of your personality structure. Otherwise, how can you be conscious? Consciousness is the stuff of being conscious. So that forms the center of your personality paradigm. And then there are all these other different sheets. Now your will, this is a definition which Vivekananda himself gives you, is a compound of the self and the intellect, which means it arises at the interface between the Atman and the Buddhi. I already gave you a definition of will. The definition was, it is a committed resolve in which you have invested considerable amount of energy and which is directed towards a particular goal. Now, you see where it originates, this will, at the interface between the Atman, pure consciousness, and your higher intellect. So you see, the commitment of your intellect to your goal is required to generate the will. यहाँ से will निकलता है, वो सिर्फ एक thought नहीं है. If it was just a thought, it would get replaced by another thought tomorrow. But your will cannot get replaced like that. क्योंकि उसमें आपकी बहुत सारी energy गई है, उसमें आपके संस्कार invested हैं. And all this is towards a particular something specific in your life. So your will is actually, it becomes your central shaft, which will bring out the power of your consciousness to the different parts of your personality. Just like that boat shaft, which I told you. Just like that. So agar aisa will create ho, so you will see you are easily able to make your decisions, make the right choices in your life. Otherwise, decision making is a problem. क्योंकि क्या होता है पता है, जब आपको डिसीजन लेना पड़ता है, आज तो छोटे छोटे डिसीजंस ले रहे हो, कल जब बड़े बड़े डिसीजन सामने आएंगे, इट नेचुरली हैपन्स, ये लूँ या वो करूँ, या इतने सारे लोग ये बोल रहे हैं, शुड आई टेक द मेजॉरिटी ओपिनियन और शुड आई लिसन टू किसकी बात सुनो, मम्मी पापा की बात सुनो या दादी माँ की बात सुनो. यू डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू unless you have worked on your mind and the will. You see, now I will give you 4 steps to decision making to help you understand what goes into the making of a decision and how important this central shaft, your willpower, is. These are the 4 steps to taking the right decision. First of all, this is practically of great use to you. You must know all your options in taking a decision, isn't it? ये तो आप करते ही हो. Consider the pros and cons of everything. Know all your options. Now, the second most important point here, the second step is the process of selection. How will you select which option to actually take up? For this, first of all, you need to know your mindset. आपके लिए जो अच्छा है वो दूसरों के लिए अच्छा नहीं होगा. इसलिए if you only take majority opinion or you are dependent on the wills of others, you may not take the right decision. Understand your own biases, your own values, what your heart and mind tell you. Know yourself. Self-knowledge is very important in decision making. Otherwise, I will not know what is good for me in any particular context, in any particular situation. बहुत बार हमारे पास students आते हैं and they tell us, well, my father is asking me to choose engineering, but my heart is in something else. ये होता है ना? So I first need to know, while making a decision, what are my inclinations? What are my values? This is the first step in the process of selection. Second is, you must know the difference between Shreyas and Preyas. Shreya and Preya. ये शब्द हिंदी में है, इसीलिए आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा समझने में. श्रेय क्या है? जो श्रेयस्कर है आपके लिए, है ना? जो अच्छा है. It is called electable in English. And प्रेय को delectable कहते हैं. और एक वर्ड है electable, श्रेयस का मतलब है preferable जो होता है. And प्रेय जो है वो pleasurable होता है. The two are different. This is the glory of the Indian cultural values. They will tell you Shreyas and Preyas are different. This comes right from the Upanishads. You know, there's a mantra in Kathopanishad, very significant. It will give you this idea very profoundly. The mantra goes like this: Shreyascha Preyascha Manushya Metat Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha Shreyo hi dhiro bhi preyaso vrinite Preyo mando yoga kshemad vrinite. The meaning is, a wise man, what does he do? He considers both Shreyas and Preyas, the options available to him. Samparitya means he surveys the options. And then Vivinakti, he separates the Shreyas from the Preyas. The two are different. All that glitters is not gold. The two are different. Look at your own life. Constantly Shreyas and Preyas come to you in mixed form. You must be able to separate the two. Kaun sa, what gives you long-term satisfaction, long-term integrity, what is completely honest and good for you, which develops your self-confidence, develops your insights, that is Shreyaskar for you. Preyaskar is what is attractive and, well, pleasurable. ये समझ लो अभी से. This is the glory of our mighty culture. They give you such important ideas. ये दोनों अलग होते हैं. And you must be able to differentiate them. If you are not able to differentiate, yes, you will run after what is attractive, glamorous, at your own cost. The effect will come after some time. So ये ठीक तरह से समझने के लिए I have put this in the yellow thing, you see. The very concept of dharma in our, it doesn't mean religion. I don't mean religion by dharma here. What I mean is what dharma comes from, the dharmic inclination towards righteousness, towards what is shreyas. It comes from the very dhatu is dhru. Dhru dhatu means that which holds a man together, which gives you integrity. You see, it gives you integrity, it boosts your confidence, it gives you insight. This is what Shreyas gives you. And this is what is dharmic. This dharma word, it was the one letter, you can say, unwritten constitution of India for centuries. Kyuki, it is showing you the means to righteousness. I don't mean religion by it. A way of life which is leading you to what is right. Light and great and glorious in life. So you see, the first thing about Shreyas is select that which gives you this integrity, which holds you together, which boosts your confidence. This will be very clear to you if you study your mind. And the second thing is, that is Shreyaskar, which brings benefit to others also. It brings benefit to a large number of people. Wahi Shreyaskar hota hai. And Preyaskar maybe just brings a little pleasure to you, but it will lead you nowhere. So ये differentiate करने का जो main आपकी सोच में ये आना चाहिए. This is the main thing in the construction of the central shaft of will in your life. Learn to differentiate between Shreyas and Preyas. जब भी सामने कोई decision लेना पड़ा, think about it. What is the short-term satisfaction I will get? What will be the long-term result of this? Think about it. See what is Shreyaskar there, what is Preyaskar. Then take your decision. So you understood the second step? Yes? The second, how to select. When you are making a decision, how to select which option to take. How to differentiate between Shreyas and Preyas. How not to fall for the immediately pleasurable alone. That is why the word dhira is used in the Upanishad. One of steady mind and intellect will choose Shreyas, even if it doesn't appear very attractive. Remember this. And the third step, let me go to the third step now. Is this clear to you? Yes? The third step is, it must be a conscious, deliberate decision. कभी कभी क्या होता है, बहुत लोग मुझे एक बात कह रहे हैं तो चलो चला दे वो बात. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. It must be your conscious, deliberate, well thought out, well cogitated decision. This is important. आप देखिए, when this will become possible is only when the same thoughts and impressions are prevailing in your conscious and subconscious minds, isn't it? कभी कभी क्या होता है, subconscious mind में जो है, it doesn't agree with the conscious mind. होता है ना ऐसे? Something in you कुछ खुद कर रहा है कि नहीं ऐसा मत करो, लेकिन आपका conscious mind कर रहा है कर दो ऐसा. So this difference, if this difference persists between conscious mind and subconscious mind, you will not be able to take a right decision. This is what this third point is telling you. If the two are aligned to each other, this conscious, and I will give you examples, don't worry, don't look puzzled. If the conscious and subconscious minds are aligned to each other, you will be able to make the right decision. I will give you a simple example here. Suppose somebody got into the habit of lying. वो habit नहीं था, अब आ गया है. So what happens is, every time the student tells a lie, a part of his subconscious, it throws up a beam saying, ना ये सच नहीं है. You know, it happens. This is what the conscience is about. It will tell you, नहीं ये सच नहीं है, लेकिन बोलना पड़ रहा है. So this is what I am saying. Conscious mind is not aligned to subconscious mind. हमेशा आपका subconscious mind जो है आपको बोलेगा, No, this is not the right thing. This is untrue. So you see, if you persist in lying, the subconscious will get alienated from the conscious mind. Subconscious will not be in tune with the conscious mind. So any decision you make in the conscious mind will not be supported by the subconscious. अगर आपका subconscious clean हो, conscious भी clean हो, तभी the two will support each other. तो जब आप एक decision लोगे, your entire subconscious mind will support it. Decision making में यही होता है. That is why we say your will is the resultant of your sanskars. Not just the result, the net effect, the resultant. What you have filled into your subconscious minds, what you have worked upon will stand by you in times of need, when you need to make a decision. And it will support your conscious mind if you align the two. इसका मतलब है your whole mind functions as one agent, है ना? It functions as one agent. That is when it becomes like a powerful battery called the will. तब जब आप consciously एक decision लोगे, your whole mind agrees to it. आपके अंदर कोई difference नहीं रहेगा, factions नहीं रहेंगे. You understand? This is the way to take a decision. नहीं तो क्या होता रहेगा? Every time your conscious mind says something, a part of you itself is not agreeing with it. A part of you itself is opposing. And then that is when you lose your integrity. And other people will not trust you. So then you are at the mercy of the opinions of other people. If you have to depend only on yourself, you must work on your mind. Make sure that your subconscious and conscious are aligned. इसका मतलब है basically lead an honest, clean life. No matter what you are getting into, make sure that your subconscious doesn't blame you in anything. Your subconscious doesn't throw up negative beams to the conscious that this is not true, this is not right. Lead a life where the whole mind functions as one agent. And you will see you can easily make the major decisions of your life without any problem. Not only will you make your own decisions, tomorrow you will have to make wonderful decisions for others, for the nation. This is the way to make the right decision. Train your mind. Develop that central shaft. And then when the will is developed, you will see decision making is a very easy process. अगर ये ना हो तो सचमुच बहुत मुश्किल है. You will be depending on external factors and it will cause a lot of trouble. Now the fourth point which you need to know is, remove the options once you have made your choice. एक बार आपने इतना कुछ process लगा के आपने अपना choice बना लिया. Then if you still keep the other options open, your mind will swing. होता है ना? Doesn't it happen? So remove the options from your life. Whether it is your career, you see, let me give you a simple example here also. Once you finish your course, there will be placements, you get a good job in a company. You like your job, the company also is very good, it has its own work ethic, it has an ethos of its own, and you're satisfied with your job. After a year or so, you get another job offer from another company, which has no such work ethic, but it is offering you a very high package, very high salary package. अब आपको डिसीजन लेना है, यहीं पे रिटेन रहे या वहाँ पर जाए. Now what are your options? Your options are, you can go in for that high package, but you will miss out the work ethic of this place, the commitments of this place, the ethos of this place. So then you decide what is Shreyas and what is Preyas. So then naturally you will decide to remain in the first company and you must remove the second company from your mind. यही है fourth point का मतलब. Remove the options once you have made your choice. Otherwise, your mind will swing. After 6 months, again into your old company, you will start thinking, "Arey, wahan jana tha." Don't do it. Not just regarding your career, even regarding your family, regarding any major decision you have to take. Remove the other options from your life. If you keep your mind bifurcated and dissipated, you will never have peace. The very word decision, you know, in Latin it comes from Caesar root. Caesar means to cut off. Caesarean operation, you know, to cut off what you don't want to experience. Once you know what you don't want to experience, cut it out of your life. Otherwise, our restless mind will keep following all sorts of paths and you will lose out on what you actually could have gained. So don't do it. So remember this. Consciously stop the swinging process, and that is why mind management is very important to do this. You see, will is the interface between your self and the mind, the higher intellect. Unless you have learnt mind management as a technique, it will be difficult for you to develop willpower. So understand these 4 points clearly. This is the heart of decision making. Vivekananda speaks of it many times. He actually wanted our young people to stand up and do things for themselves. And he expected this from you. Learn the art of decision making. It is all there in his literature. And take this entire load on your own shoulders. I will make my own decisions. Considering all these, you see, all the steps have been given. Understanding this, I will learn to take the right decisions by myself right from today. Even the simple decision of what time I will get up tomorrow morning. Don't leave it to your alarm clock. This is going too far, you will say. Maybe you need the alarm clock to do it, but don't press the snooze button. Take your decision by yourself and stick to it and remove the other options from your life. Then you will see, you will be successful in this. Otherwise, hamesha aap bolte rahoge, kaise, even you see 60 years, 70 years old people, kaise lay decisions and how to control the mind. It is not a problem if you apply yourself at a young age. I'm telling you, put some energy into this and you will see your life gets very regulated. It becomes peaceful. You are able to discover the higher values of life. Yahi to baat hai na? Ultimately, your goal will be higher happiness, higher fulfillment. This is universal goal for everyone. So ye kaise aayega? Unless mind is controlled, unless you are sure of yourself, you're self-dependent, you are making the choices of your life yourself. Your will is under your control. Your conscious and subconscious minds are obeying each other. They function as one entity. So make all this very clear to your mind right now. I am leaving the PPT with you, so don't worry. You will get it. You can study it further on also. Now let's go to sharpening the will. Once you have understood the steps to taking the right decision, understand that there are ways in which you can sharpen the will. You see, if it is one thread, it will pass through the eye of the needle. Any goal you can attain. But if it is not one piece of thread, it will be difficult, isn't it, to send it through the needle. So what are the requirements to sharpen the will? First of all, organize your life. ये आज बोलना पड़ रहा है. Organize your life. If you lead very erratic, uncommitted lives, it is very difficult to develop willpower, do mind management and all this. Organize your life, which means your lifestyle, your habits, your interests, your emotions. Second is discipline your mind. Work on this in a small way every day. If you work on it, disciplined habits, disciplined ways of thinking, disciplined emotions, all this will help you. आजकल ये कोई नहीं बोलता है ना, but this is vital to your success anywhere. Remember this. You see, you are an entity, an individual who's interacting with the outer world. Just the knowledge of the outer world is not enough. If you don't have any knowledge of the medium of interaction and of the individual who's interacting, you will be in trouble. That is why self-knowledge is important, mind management is important, how I deal with my faculties, God-given faculties, that is important, how I build my will, that is important. So you see, these are the points which we have to work upon. The third point tells you, will is the dynamic aspect of intention, isn't it? It's quite obvious. Work on achieving 100% purity of intentions. Work on achieving that. If you want something, you must want it 100%. And you must be able to remove from your mind what you don't want to experience. I will give you a simple example for this. You see, when I say 100% purity of intentions, what does it mean? Let us take the same example because you can understand. Now, suppose I tell you, आपको सुबह जल्दी से उठना है, ये अच्छी habit है. तो आप कहोगे, हाँ ठीक है उठेंगे, कल 4 बजे उठेंगे. Now, when you say, yes, कल 4 बजे उठेंगे, you know, only about 60% of you is saying 4 बजे उठेंगे. About 20% of you is actually saying, behind your conscious mind, it is saying, ना ना ये कैसे संभव है, इतने दिन तो नहीं किया. And the other 20% is actually doesn't know what to say. हाँ बोलना है या ना बोलना है उसको पता नहीं है. तो अगर ऐसी हालत हो, you cannot take the right decisions. 100% purity of intention means when I say yes, 100% yes, I will put my entire energy into it. If I say no, 100% no. This is the only way to achieve success, remember. Success doesn't depend so much on outer circumstances and situations as much as it depends on yourself. Understand this very well. If you have built yourself, your character, your mind, your will, success is only a matter of time. Anywhere, you will be successful. Somebody, इसके लिए और एक example है. It's a joke actually. I think Will Rogers has said it. He once said, he was a famous comedian, you know. He said, "Oh, it's very easy to give up smoking. I have done it 100 times." तो ये कोई willpower हुआ? So why I say 100% purity of intentions? अगर ये ना हो, तो ऐसे ही होंगे हमारे decisions. It's very easy to do it. कुछ भी, anything valuable in life is not easy, let me tell you. Anything valuable, just like how you want a really great camera, you have to pay that amount. If you want a really great life, you have to invest your energies in the right things. You have to invest your energies most of all in building yourself. अगर ये कर पाओ, तो you will see, you will be successful anywhere. That is why the Upanishad statement tells you, there's an Upanishadic mantra which says, Ata kratumaya purusho, a man is verily what his will is. So if your will is committed, oriented, you are verily going to attain success in life. And the mantra for success is given to you by Vivekananda himself. Let me come to that. You see, the secret of willpower and success in life. Vivekananda says, take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Do we do this? Think about it. One idea, think of it, dream of it, live for that one idea. And let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. जब एक चीज लेते हो, concentrate completely on that. If you read Vivekananda's life, I tell you, this level of concentration and focus was constant with him. इसीलिए तो वो विवेकानंद बने. This is the heart of success. एक बार क्या हुआ? Let me give you one incident here which is very interesting. It happened in Belur Math when Swamiji was there. One of his disciples, he was Sharat Chandra Chakravarti, he entered into Vivekananda's room and he saw volumes of Encyclopedia Britannica. There were 14 glistening new volumes in Vivekananda's room. So as soon as he saw that, he was very happy and he said, "Wow, Swamiji, very nice. So, but it will take such a long time to read all this." And Swamiji said, "Not exactly. I have already finished 10 volumes. 10 volumes? Already finished? There were only 14 volumes. And then he said, "But how is it possible, Swamiji? So quickly, how can you assimilate 12 volumes of information?" And Vivekananda told him, "You just open any of those 10 volumes and ask me whatever you want and I'll give you the answer." और फिर उन्होंने ऐसा ही किया. He took up one volume and just randomly picked up some question somewhere and Swamiji gave him the exact answer. In fact, even quoting verbatim what was in that book. इसका मतलब क्या है? बहुत बार ऐसा उन्होंने ट्राई किया और स्वामी जी ने every time एक perfect answer दिया. You see, our eyes are like the video cameras which you use, you know. What does a video camera do? It scans objects and it takes in the entire image, isn't it? And then processes the image. So also, the mind can so be trained that whatever your eyes focus upon, you actually take the image, mirror image, and put it in your mind, and your mind retains it. These high levels of concentration and focus, this is the heart of success in life. If your mind is not able to retain, because it is itself so unstable and scattered, you will not have this ability. It's all to do with mind. See, अगर आपके video camera ठीक हो, इसका मतलब है आंखें ठीक हो, your mind must be able to retain what you take in. Do you get the point? This is at the heart of success. ऐसा will होना चाहिए, one-pointed will, कि जिस पर आपकी आंखें पड़ती हो, it becomes part of you. And your mind is able to retain it. It retains the image of that. It is possible. So many incidences are there in Vivekananda's life. And it's really remarkable. Once, Vivekananda was standing on a bridge, and a number of young people, young boys, they were shooting at eggshells popping up the river, the flowing river. So these eggshells were popping up from time to time, and they were making that the target and shooting with a gun. And they were missing all the eggshells. तो विवेकानंद जी ने देखा और फिर उनको लगा ये क्या हो रहा है, तो उन्होंने कहा गन मुझे दे दो. तो उन बच्चों ने गन दे दिया विवेकानंद जी को, and then he aimed the gun and went into a state of complete concentration. वो एकदम still हो गए और गन पकड़ा और then he pulled the trigger with absolute concentration. He shot 12 eggshells one after the other. और फिर उन बच्चों ने, they got stunned. उन्होंने कहा कि you must have gone through a lot of training to do this. And Vivekananda said, I have held the gun for the first time in my life. ये कैसे संभव है आप बोलिए? The mind is so steady. Not that the gun alone was steady. The mind, the focus, the attention was so steady. Remember your attention span, which is a big problem for you now, no? That attention itself is nothing but a beam of your awareness directed by your will. So आप अगर will develop करोगे, आपका attention भी develop होगा उसी के साथ. So understand, this is the secret of willpower. Now your will actually generates your values and behavior. इसका मतलब क्या है? आपके values कैसे generate होते हैं? देखिए, if your values are dependent on somebody's opinions or on something else, then at some point you may doubt those values. But if your values are dependent on your own experience, on your understanding, on the clarity of your intellect, then they become a part of your personality, isn't it? So, यही कह रहे हैं यहाँ. You see that this diagram, self-knowledge, which means an understanding of the depths of your personality and of your mind, will actually help you develop your character and willpower. So that is clear from that diagram. And it is this development of character and will which generates your sense of values. Once will is developed, it will guide you towards what is right and what is wrong. Your little impulses and emotions will not guide you. उन पर rely किया नहीं जा सकता. है ना, आप ही बोलिए. Can you trust your everyday emotions and impulses? You can only trust your well-developed, committed will. That is why that's the central shaft. It provides power to the other things. So remember, your values will emerge out of your character and high willpower. And this in turn decides your attitudes and behavioral patterns in society. So remember, self-culture and social culture, this is how they are related. आप अगर अपनी personality build करोगे, अपना character build करोगे, अपना willpower build करोगे, it will affect society in a big way later on. But if you don't work on yourself just now, you never know what value system you will finally end up with. You understand? So don't think this is a selfish enterprise. When you work on yourself and develop a great personality, you contribute immensely to social culture and to society. This is what I want to show you in this diagram. जैसे आप स्वामी जी का ही लाइफ देखो ना, take the life of any great man. Considerable part of his time was invested in building himself, building his system of values, his attitudes, his will, and then he became great. Know this. Now let me come to this, which is very important for you. Vivek in practical life. In your today's life and situation, how you can apply what all you have studied just now. You see, this slide is important for you because it will give you the causal connections, the causality. आपको पता है causality क्या है? Physics में भी तो है. What is a law? It is the relationship between a cause and an effect. Now all your problems are effects. Your Vivek will lead you to the actual causes. Otherwise, you will only have symptomatic cures. Isn't it? ये पहला problem लीजिए जो मैंने वहाँ पर दिया है, ADD. It's a common problem with young people, attention deficit disorder. आपके life में भी थोड़ा बहुत होता है ना ये? Attention deficit, I'm not able to concentrate at will. कल assignment है, exam है, लेकिन मन बैठ ही नहीं रहा है. It is constantly going outward. So then, you see, the usual symptoms of this are distraction of your attention, and the treatment given is either concentration techniques or finally tranquilizers if you are absolutely out of control. तो ये तो symptomatic treatment है. But the actual cause for ADD is, do you know what is the actual cause for attention deficit? You cannot guess what the actual cause is. आपके जीवन में इतना सारा bombardment है on your senses at any given moment that before you can process the information, your mind gets scattered. You are not able to even think linearly. Not to speak of taking a decision or building your will. So इतना सारा over bombardment जब होता है brain के ऊपर, it leads to ADD over a long period of time. Before you can think out things, determine the right and wrong of things, process the information that has come in, the next set of information bombards your mind. So इसीलिए, let there be goal-oriented, focused thinking in life. You see, that is the actual solution to ADD. अगर आपका focus fixed रहे, you know what, how much to take in of what is true, what is, मैंने already आपको बोला श्रेयस और प्रेयस, if you can distinguish the two and remain committed to श्रेयस, you will not suffer ADD. ये होगा ही नहीं आपके life में, और नहीं तो tranquilizers लेने पड़ेंगे, finally. If the problem goes to the extreme, these are the kinds of treatments being offered. But you see, that is why I'm telling you, understand the actual causal equations. Causal equation will tell you ADD is actually due to your inability of your mind to digest so much of information and erratic information, all sorts of things entering the mind. So learn to lead a goal-oriented, focused life. You will not suffer from attention deficit. The second problem is depression. ये भी fairly common है. At a young age, if you are suffering from depression, I think that's very tragic. This is the time when your entire life energy should be blooming. There's no scope for depression. But no sustained interest in anything is quite common among young people. And the treatment given is antidepressants. But you know the actual cause for depression? खुद को लेके रहना. Ego-centeredness. Not even thinking about what is happening outside or what is the reality of life. You know, Vivekananda once said, the more you think of yourself, the more peaceless you will be. And the more you think of others and the good of others, the more happy you will be. It gladdens the mind. Or apne aap mein, if you are actually cocooned within your little ego, and you know we are very ego-sensitive and not sensitive to self-sensitive. We are not actually sensitive to the core part of our personality, not sensitive to higher values. We are very ego-sensitive. So all this leads to depression. So get out of this little cocoon. And that is why the actual solution to depression is service, yoga, creativity, all these are the solutions. Develop all this and you will get out of depression. Sirf antidepressants lene se nahi hoga. That's just a symptomatic cure. And then corruption. See, I'm also giving you collective problems. Individual problems are ADD and depression. But you see, corruption, crime, and environmental degradation. All these are related to, you know what corruption is due to? Basically, it is exploitation, isn't it? Corruption. And then all sorts of punishments are given. But the cause is selfishness and greed. Again, locking yourself inside your little ego and greed. The Bhagavad Gita repeatedly warns us about this, that these are the three gateways to hell. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. These are the gateways to hell. Tasmad etatrayam tyajet. That is why give this up. Understand, Shreyas kar kya hai aur Preyas kar kya hai. Aapke जीवन में कैसे mixed form में वो आता है. So that is why the actual cause, understanding the cause, you can apply the solution, social responsibility, which means you are able to go out and do things for others. Take up some deprived community, do some form of service, and that tendency to exploit will go. This is the only way to correct these tendencies. Crime, any form of deviancy in behavior. You see, the next problem is crime. Any form of deviancy in behavior is a criminal act. And again, counseling and punishment, all this is given. But again, you see, the actual causes are Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajo guna samudbhavaha, Mahashano mahapapma, Vidhena meha vairinam. Bhagavad Gita tells you this. Kama, Krodha, all these are your actual enemies. They will see to it that your mind works only towards prayers. They will block out Shreyas from your life. So be careful. Crime is a result of an over preponderance of all this. Lust, anger, and pride. So the solution again should be service outreach activities. That gives you a control over yourself, control over your mind. It will bring gladness into your mind. It will make you less selfish. more oriented towards societal good. And then environmental degradation. The actual symptom is pollution at all levels, air pollution, water pollution. Well, in Delhi we know it all. And then the treatment is raising awareness. But actual cause kya hai iske liye? When do you go about polluting your environment? When the consumeristic tendency is very strong. You see, there is provision for everybody's need. There is no provision for everybody's greed. But our consumeristic and greed tendencies are such that it brings us this environmental degradation. So be careful about this. Again, the solution will be service. और ये जो यज्ञ भाव कहते हैं ना, ये बहुत कॉमन था वैदिक एज में, आपने सुना होगा. होम करते हैं, याग यज्ञ करते हैं. क्यों करते हैं? You know the basic idea behind yajna? You put back into life what you take from it. Have you thought about it? See, we have taken so much from life, isn't it? No matter what your age. Life, most of the vital things are free. Air is free, water is free. So many things are free, and then your family, your relationships, all of them have worked towards building your life. Isn't it? Your teachers, your institution, your nation. And what have you returned? Have you thought about it? Yajna ka matlab hai to put back into life what you take from it. It doesn't matter if you don't do the ritual. Today, people are disconnected from rituals, especially in this part of the nation. But if you are able to catch the actual idea, what it denotes, what it signifies, it is you put back into life what you take from it. This is yajna. And in some way, if you are contributing to society, you are performing yajna. And this is the only way to overcome these wrong tendencies in us, over-consumerism, greed, all kinds of negative emotions. So if you just follow this pattern of living, you come into harmony with collective life. आप देखेंगे there is no this inner struggle, tension, all kinds of depression. You know, even very happy things can put people into depression. ऐसा भी होता है because the mind is not in a stable state. A person has everything in life, फिर भी जाके suicide commit करते हैं ना? क्यों? The mind is not in the right state. The mind is so unstable, so erratic, so out of control. Even the good situation around him, he cannot do anything about it. And it's a major problem. So work on yourself. You see, the entire solutions and the causes have to do with you. Don't search for solutions only outside of yourself. And if you build your life according to these principles, you will see you will contribute enormously to society and to your nation. This is what Vivekananda expected from you. Let me end with his quote again. Take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders. Know that you are the creators of your destiny. And all the power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Don't doubt these words. Take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders and build your great willpower and show us. This is what we want from you. Thank you.